welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about everything you need to know before you go into fashion school. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I decided to wait until I was officially a senior in college and have gone through almost 4 years of fashion school and have pretty much I wouldn't say I was an expert, but I know quite a lot. So I thought, why not create this video? Not a lot of people tell you kind of like a lot about it and like what you should know before you go. So I'm here to do that for you. So I'm currently a senior at Columbia College Chicago studying fashion business with a minor in photography, and that will be a whole other video about my experience with being a minor in photography. But like I said, my major is fashion business, and if you're going to Columbia and you're thinking about going into the fashion studies department or just a fashion major, you know that they don't have that degree anymore. Incoming freshmen now have to either pick merchandising or product development, but a couple years ago when I started, they still had the major in fashion business. I'm still going to graduate with a BFA in fashion business, but everyone after me will be graduating with a BFA in fashion studies with a concentration in merchandising or product development. Also, there's design. It's the same, just called fashion design. I'm not an expert on fashion design. Merchandising or product development, I'm going to explain that later in the video. But yes, the fashion program at Columbia is amazing. It's still pretty much the same. I go through more business classes, and to me that's more beneficial. But for some people, doing the more fashion-y classes 24/7 is more beneficial. And I'm saying that I do get fashion classes, like all my electives are usually fashion or photography. I just have more business-y classes for my major. Okay, so if the lighting or positioning changed, it's because my camera died and it has gotten brighter since charging it. But I'm gonna move on to some things that you should know. The big question is, you either like clothing or you like fashion. And I'm gonna be honest, those things are two different things, and if you can't tell the difference from it, you're gonna have a hard time in fashion. And I don't want to be rude or pretentious, but like, fashion is something completely different from the clothes you're wearing. Everyone wears clothes, everyone is in the fashion industry whether they like it or not. Fashion, on the other hand, is kind of like, you like the whole aspect of it all. You like how the clothes are made, the silhouette, the style, the fabric. You like the values and ways a company makes their clothes. You are educated with how things are made, sustainability, companies. You are really active in the fashion industry. That's kind of what fashion is. Big thing is, don't go into fashion if you think you have a good style and you think, well, it would be easy. It's not, okay? I'm gonna go into kind of like what the different jobs, I'm gonna like do a 180 and talk about jobs right now, because when I was going into fashion from high school, I only knew the whole merchandising scope of fashion, and that is literally one part of fashion. And I grew up with some people that my mom's friends with who owned their own store, and they were entrepreneurs and they were merchandisers, which means they go and buy clothes, they don't make it, to put in their store. So you could either work for Macy's and become a merchandiser, or you can have your own store and become a merchandiser or a buyer. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, and as coming into here, that is not what I want to do anymore. I think that is such a kind of boring thing to do, to be honest. Now, if you like merchandising and buying, then that's cool. Also, merchandising can be like brand extension, so like completely adding on a whole new line. So that's a little bit more interesting about merchandising. The next is fashion marketing, and that's kind of what I want to go into. So marketing, honestly, is, everyone knows what marketing is. It's like billboards, ads, social media, stuff like that, but specifically for fashion. So I've been kind of like honing into my degree into marketing. And then there's visual merchandising, which is all the displays and in displays that you put into stores. You can either be a merchandiser for a specific store, or you can be a merchandiser, or you could be a visual merchandiser for a whole company, which means you get to create what goes into the store and you kind of just give them a little layout. So that's something I've been interested in. I have an internship doing visual stuff, as well as the visual classes I've really enjoyed here. Macy's like a big one that creates cool window displays. The next is like trend reporter or stuff like that. So as you all know, there are companies that specifically hone in on like what's going to be trendy during Fashion Week, or what's going to be trendy in the world pretty much. So you can be that, as well as you could be a news reporter or journalist for Vogue magazine, Elle magazine, W, things like that. You can write, be a blogger, that's part of it. So then there's like finance stuff, so you can be a finance person for fashion. That's more like business related type. You could be obviously designer, you could be designer for a brand, or you could be designer for yourself. An analyst is kind of someone who just like goes in and like looks at numbers and kind of like how their company is doing pretty much. An entrepreneur, obviously, and then something that's a little different, more in the photography realm, is a fashion photographer. But you also need to kind of know about fashion to be a fashion photographer. So that's kind of some of the jobs you could have. There's also a product development person, but that's like a whole idea that can go into like marketing, advertising, and then social media, and like just kind of like the idea of how to get a product from like when it was drawn on a piece of paper to now being in a customer's hand. And last thing I want to say is fashion is hard. You have to love it to get into the industry. And I know that I am not fully in the industry yet. I'm still a student, but I've had I'm in one now, but 2 internships, a job that's related to fashion, and that I I'm kind of like trying to get myself out there, because I've not had retail experience, but you don't need retail experience to do things. But it's really hard. People are mean. I'm not going to be like completely, I'm going to be honest here. People are mean in the fashion industry. They made Devil Wears Prada about Anna Wintour, and that gave like, she's intense. She's a very nice lady. I've never met her, but it's intense. Like if you don't have a good style, a sense of like idea or anything like that, you're gonna have a hard time, and it's gonna suck. But might as well learn through videos like I'm creating. I mean, overall, everything you're gonna do is gonna be hard, but you gotta push through it. And fashion is a very hard thing to get into, because like I said, it's opinionated, everyone's involved in it, and it's intense. And that's why I wanted to make this video for anyone who's like thinking about going into this industry and is not like 100% sure. If this made you want to go into the industry a lot more, you're welcome. If not, like I said, it's opinionated. If you're like, well, shut up, Hadley, what you've said is stupid, I'm still gonna go into it, then do it, because half the time you never know. This world changed, everything changes. Fashion isn't the same as what it was, and I just want to say that it is hard. That's like the number one thing. I mean, everything is hard, but fashion is hard. But yes, I also want to say 95% of my people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you like this video or any other video I have, be sure to subscribe, because because that's just crazy that 95% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. I know I'm small, but like, yes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the fashion industry that I didn't talk about or think of, comment them down below, because I want to answer everything. I might have forgotten a lot, but right now I can't think of it. So yes, I will see you guys in my next video. Hope you have an amazing day, and yeah, bye.